Good evening, members of council, Mr. Mayor, and members of the public. This is a caucus meeting for the Yeadon Borough Council. As such, pursuant to the governor's emergency declaration, this meeting is being held via Zoom. As such, the meeting is being recorded. Your participation in this meeting is your consent to be recorded and for the recording to be saved by the borough. Thank you, Madam President.
Well,
I'm sorry? Madam President, you there?
hello?
We can hear you now, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to
to the flag of the United
United
States
States
of
of
America
America,
and to the republic for which stands
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty,
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'm sorry, is it Mr. Nichols or is it Ms.?
You guys have me tonight, Madam President.
All right, thank you. Mr. Secretary, please proceed with roll call, beginning with our esteemed mayor.
Certainly. Mayor Hempkins,
Present.
President Monroe,
Present.
Vice President Francis,
Present.
Councilor Johnson,
Present.
Councilor Jones Waters,
Present.
Councilor McCabe,
Present.
Councilor Cave,
Hi, everybody, I'm here.
Councilor Rollcloud,
Here.
Solicitor Gibbs,
I'm present. Madam President, I'm sorry.
Madam Tax Collector. Okay. NDI.
Here.
Thank you, Madam President.
Madam President, I would ask permission to take leave from the caucus meeting. I have no report for this evening. Mr. Nichols will make a request, at which time I can make a briefing to council.
Okay, are you turning over? So who's,
Mr. Nichols will be the administrator of the council meeting.
all right, thank you.
Well, actually, Solicitor, if you don't mind, I have a quick question for you
Yes, ma'am.
before you leave. I noticed that there was a resolution passed by council back in November of 2017 with respect to redistricting. And when I took a look at the resolution wasn't signed. The exact date is actually November 16th, 2017. It looks like everyone who was on council at that time approved the actual resolution, but it was not signed. However, I was kind of wondering what was done to date with respect to moving forward with the redistricting, especially since it's coming up next year. And if there's anything that we need to do at this time to get ready for same. I guess the first question is it even valid if it wasn't signed? It's not even dated.
So I'll start with saying that a resolution of the Borough Council, as it relates to a county function, is advisory at best. The first start of redistricting, and I would tell you that the borough, and you were included in this, did a Herculean job of trying to make sure that every resident was counted. Given that the census is ended and we won't have numbers to January, there's nothing for the borough to do until wait until the census numbers come back. And once we get the certified census numbers, there's a conversation that happens with the planning caucus, the planning commission of the county, to determine what the next step is. I will research more that ordinance and get back to you shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President, may I take leave at this time?
Thank you. We will move on to our citizens forum. In the event there are any citizens wishing to speak, please raise your hand in the chat. And Mr. Nichols, who's now the administrator of the Zoom, will let us know if there's anyone there.
Yes, Madam President, we have one resident, Mr. Michael Trent.
All right, Mr. Trump.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted now.
Yes.
Yeah, what I wanted to do mainly was just, mention my appreciation for the borough and the mayor of, bringing out lunches for veterans like myself on Saturday. Much appreciated. Then also special appreciation to the mayor for bringing out, a little bag of groceries on Veterans Day, which was very surprising, but very much appreciated, and want to give a shout out to the mayor on that. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Trent, for your service.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Nichols?
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Nichols, are there any other citizens wishing to speak for Citizens Forum?
No, there is not, Madam President.
All right, we'll move forward with our mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple of things on the score, and we'll start with Veterans Day. The mayor's office and Recreation Department under Ron Francis partnered to provide lunches for veterans on Saturday, November 7th. We have our list is up to 30. When I became mayor, one of the things we wanted to do started recognizing veterans with a luncheon. This year it was postponed due to COVID, and Ron and I wondered what to do, and we agreed to provide lunches that were dropped off due to COVID-19 and social distancing. They were dropped off at each home. Also decided the mayor's office to provide 30 bags of assorted groceries to veterans, and did that on Veterans Day on Wednesday, yesterday. That's what Mr. Trent was referring to. So a great response from the veterans, and just reminded that they do keep us safe and free, and many of them have sacrificed not just their lives but their families, being deployed overseas and moving from place to place at a moment's notice. I have a very, very soft heart for veterans. The election day update. From a standpoint of public safety, we wanted to ensure that our borough remains safe with all the craziness going on around the country, and that we had officers deployed and on standby should anything untowards happen. And thank God it was relatively peaceful. COVID-19 update, as everybody knows, there's been an uptick this fall, and it's worse now than it was at the beginning of the pandemic. And we're asking all residents not to get what they're calling now COVID fatigue and letting our guards down, but to continue social distancing. A lot of the transmittals, it seems, are coming from the homes. I'm not talking about Yeadon. I'm just talking what I'm hearing in the news nationally and locally. KYW did something on that, with some of the schools came under attack. And a lot of some of the administrators are saying that a lot of the transmittals are being done in the home and social gatherings. So we have to, no matter how it's being spread, we have to be really, really careful, both at home and in the workplace, so that it doesn't, we can stem this resurgence. The use of the mayor's office, we did allow the tax collector to move everything downstairs while the elevator was being fixed. And thankfully, I'll let somebody else report on that the elevator has been fixed recently. So the tax collector has moved back upstairs. That's all I have to report. There ends my report, Madam President.
Thank you. We will move forward with our manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and the public. Items handled, manager's report, November 12th. Items handled, the Delaware County flu shot clinics are scheduled throughout the county. We've posted all the information on the website, cable channel, My Civic app, and other media outlets for residents to know where those flu shot clinics are going to be held. PICO installed additional LED lighting in the borough inside the building at the Public Works Garage. We have another meeting set up for them to come back and do the outside lights. That meeting is scheduled for, ironically, the week of Thanksgiving. The borough is currently accepting grant request applications. The due date is November the 6th. So far, the Senior Community Service Center recently submitted their letter for council's consideration of $7,500. And I know that Mr. Trent also inquired and will be, he may have submitted, I know I saw something going back and forth with their Thanksgiving presentation that they do every year. The budget presentation, I'm asking council if we can, Madam President, have a session on Tuesday when you guys are available for us to go through a budget presentation line by line, and potentially have us vote on a preliminary budget on Thursday. I want to remind us that the preliminary budget does not mean that that is the budget. It's to start the process for us to kind of go back and forth between the departments and council and the mayor to adopt the final budget by December 31st. Items in progress, the winter newsletter submission deadline has been extended to November the 13th. The end of the year is approaching, and each year council votes whether to suspend paying for meters throughout the borough from the end of November to January. So we're seeking a motion next week for that to happen. Management is also asking to hire a full-time public works employee, Mr. Desmond Forrest. We will send his resume and everything. And on Tuesday's call, we also would like to discuss the potential of hiring this particular individual. Jeff, management, and others did do all of the necessary interviews. We solicited people from the website, Indeed, and everywhere else, and we had a lot of applicants that submitted. And again, Jeff recommends this person. We sat in with him, and we do as well. The county COVID press release that happened today will be on all media outlets. We just got it in a Word document literally 10 minutes before this meeting started, so that will be uploaded. I also would like to report that we have been approached by 2 developers to have conversations with the borough about the old Yeadon Swim Club. So those 2 meetings are also scheduled at the end of this month, and we will most certainly report back as we see what they are presenting to do. NDI will provide an update during the engineer's report related to the elevator. That ends my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. We will move forward with our.
Question. I have a question. In reference,
I'm sorry, is that Councilor Jones Waters?
Yes, I have a question. In reference to the public's work, I guess recommended hire, is here Yeadon resident? It's really important that we get people within our own borough to be employed with the borough? Do you know if he's a Yeadon resident or not?
I'm going to defer to Jeff. I know we had a Yeadon resident. We were actually going to recommend hiring a seasonal employee, also a full-time employee. One of the persons, I can't remember which one, Jeff would know better, did not make it through the pre-employment screening process.
Yeah, so the individual that did not make it through the pre-employment screening process, he was a Yeadon resident. I can't remember off the top of my head where this the new potential hire lives. He does have a substantial amount of credibility. He worked full-time in Sharon Hill Borough, has a CDL, and comes with a great deal of experience. But in regards to where he lives, if he is a Yeadon resident, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our tax collectors report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Ms. Jones.
The monthly tax collectors report is as follows. Under real estate, we collected $30,723.09. Under sewer, we collected $15,636.52. And under trash, we collected $9,118, grand total of $55,477.61. We're really nearing the end of the year, and we only have 465 outstanding properties. This concludes my report.
Thank you. We will move on to our libraries report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
evening.
Thank you. Good evening. The library is continuing to offer a series of virtual programs and virtual homework help for students, and also curbside services, which includes checkout of materials and copy and fax services. We're also pleased to announce a partnership with the County of Delaware Services for the Aging. We're going to be offering a series of virtual programs for seniors. The first one is this coming Monday, Chronic Pain Self-Management, and the second one starts this coming Tuesday. They're both multi-week programs. The second one is Wellness Initiative for Senior Education. The ballot box was really busy. In fact, at times we had lines of people waiting to drop off their ballots. Many thanks to all of you who helped make this happen for our citizens. It was a real hit. Our monthly usage statistics, we checked out 1,887 items curbside. We handed out 140 meal packs to students, and those are 5-day meal packs in conjunction with the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. And we had 33 programs and 136 attendees. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. Payne.
Thank you.
It's really impressive how much Yeadon is taking care of its own. We have the school district handing out meals, the mayor handing out meals, our library handing out meals. It's really impressive, and I just hope that we can keep up this trend even when we're outside of a pandemic. But I know it's definitely helpful to the families that are being served. So thank you for that. Let's see, we'll move on to our engineers report. Eileen.
Good evening. So next week, we'll be asking for council to consider awarding the contracts for the ordinary street and sewer maintenance work. So it would be 3 contracts, one for sanitary sewer, one for storm sewer, and one for paving. The pricing that we have received is actually better than what we received a couple years ago. So good pricing was received. We did get 2 bidders for storm sewers this time, which was great. And the new bidder is the one that actually is the lower bidder. And you do have bid tabulations that you can review. I can answer any questions on any of them if you'd like. Going on to sewer repairs, the contractor did complete the work at the 500 block of Holly. They still will have to go back and do trench restoration after it settles. They have moved to Yeadon Avenue Unfortunately, not much has been done because of the weather. So I guess once it gets sunny again, they can get back out there and work. And the 400 block of Holly has need for replacement of the sanitary sewer main and any bad laterals that may come up. So we're looking to do that after Yeadon Avenue, if it can wait that long. So if during the Yeadon Avenue project, we continue to have problems on the 400 block, then they will move there and get that done. And the Public Works Department's going to keep maintenance activity on that 400 block to keep it clear until we can get there. The Borough Hall elevator, as far as I can heard, it's up and running today. They did have additional issues that they had to take care of. And I just would ask that anyone that has an issue with the elevator, please let us know as soon as you can, and then we'll contact the contractor. And then the only other item is that for the FEMA grant, there is a resolution. Last month, the borough, it sent a letter of interest for this grant, and now they're requiring a resolution. So that resolution needs to be done and submitted by November 16th, I believe it is. I think I have that wrong, November 18th. So that's it as far as updates.
So if the resolution is due by the 18th, our next meeting is the 19th, how will that work?
I think Mr. Nichols is addressing that.
Yeah, Madam President, I talked with the solicitor, and I think he may present something for us to do on Tuesday when we have that budget presentation, for us to take action actually on the 17th so that we can be timely with submitting that application.
Okay. I'm sorry, Lee, did that end your report?
Yes, it did.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to our committee reports. Start with finance.
Hey guys, nothing really anything additional. We'll chat with everybody on a preliminary budget call on Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cave. Ordinance and zoning, do we have a committee meeting there? Or is there, I see a report as well.
I'm trying to see, Rufus, raise your hand if you're over there. No, Rufus.
All right, so Mr. Nichols, do you want to highlight some elements of the code report?
Not really. I don't have anything to add to it, Madam President.
All right, so.
Well, Mr. Nichols, I do have a question, if I could, since we're talking about code. My question is simply regarding the trees, the overgrown trees on the resident's property. So this property that is the residents are responsible for that are impinging upon the utility lines. I know in the past it has been expected that the resident contact PICO to have PICO come out and trim the branches away from the utility lines. However, I noticed one property in particular who has yet to do that. And it's been over almost a year. And the lines are still, the branches are still impinging upon the lines. They're actually touching the lines. Now, here's my concern. If we have bad weather and those branches break and pull the lines down, not only will it affect that property owner, but it's going to affect the other residents in the area as well. So what can we do to intervene to get this done?
And Councilor, I'm going to defer to Jeff, but I know we have, if there was an immediate danger, we have gone out and contracted someone to cut tree branches down if they were doing something like that, and we, do what we need to do to make sure that we put a lien on that property. I know we did some stuff around the cemetery area just recently with Reasonable Tree, because some trees were kind of doing some similar things and doing, over on other people's properties. So that's the approach that we are going to take moving forward. I did speak with Mr. Stokes about this, I emailed him about this earlier today, and he is looking into it and he's going to give me a full report on it as soon as possible as it relates to the specific property that you mentioned earlier in your conversation.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Public Works.
Good evening, everyone. I would first like to take the time to thank everyone who reached out to myself with well wishes and prayers in regards to the car accident that my family and I was involved in on October 25th. It just means a lot to me that you guys were thinking about me during these tough times. Little update, I had surgery on my ankle to replace some fractures on Tuesday, kind of limping around, but hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later. So once again, thank you for everyone who reached out in regards to that little car accident I was involved in. So emergency call outs on Saturday, October 17th, we were called out to the 500 block of Holly. Upon further investigation, we found that 529 as well as 531 had broken laterals feeding into the main. As Eileen mentioned, Garjoul has already completed that work. Abatements were cut from 10/7 to 10/9. Based off of, the weather moving forward and what those properties look like, I'd like to get on them one more time and cut them. This way they, remain up to snuff during the winter months. What else we got here? Leaf season. We're officially underway with leaf season. Leaf season began on October 15th and will run until the end of December, weather depending. The leaf crew will follow the same route as the sweeper, Monday through Thursday. We ask all residents to please rake the leaves to the curb. Do not place sticks, tree branches, rocks, mud in with the leaves, as it will damage the leaf machine. We are also asking residents not to place trash in leaf piles, as the Borough gets charged additional money when leaves are contaminated with trash. Leaves can also be placed in bags and placed out with your normal trash. Year to date, we have collected 130 tons of street dirt with the sweeper, and then a few other sanitary sewer issues that we that came across our plate this month. As mentioned, the 500 block of Holly, the 400 block of Holly Road, as well as 824 Bullock. With 824 Bullock, we investigated. Our main sewer line was clear. Video footage was taken of our main line, and it showed everything on our end was operating as designed. We completed a dye test of the homeowner's lateral, which showed the lateral was cleared and properly flowing. The homeowner obtained footage from the plumber, which was unclear, so we requested that the homeowner gets clear footage so we can better help the resident diagnose her issue. We're still going around town, replacing any faded signs, broken signs. We replaced a few school zone signs outside of Evans Elementary School, as well as Bell Avenue. Potholes are being patched as they arise. Storm inlets are being cleared from all leaf debris and dirt to assure stormwater runoff system is operating as designed. Streetlights are being serviced. What else we got here? Cleaning. So I just wanted to make a note that all of our materials for the COVID-19 sprayers that we ordered are set to be delivered within the next 2 weeks. There's kind of a high demand for them, so it took a little bit for the company to fill our order, but it is on its way. And lastly, the turkey fund. So this is something new here. So with the holidays around the corner, the Public Works Department, Police Department, and Fire Department have come together to start a turkey fund tradition. Starting this year, the Public Works Department has been collecting a stockpile of scrap from items that have been scheduled for pickup from residents. For example, any washers or dryers that residents are looking to get rid of, we'll go out, pick them up, and scrap them. These are considered white goods that have been collected over the months. The police department gave us a thumbs up to scrap any of the old bikes that were piling up in the police shed over the years. The fire department also donated old gear racks in the firehouse, an old pump, as well as an old pump to the cause. With the money we have raised from our scrap efforts, we will be purchasing frozen turkeys to give out to the residents in need. We're still kind of in the beginning stages of this. However, Mr. Hollywood himself, Chief Paparo, will be coordinating with a local church and organization for the donation of the turkeys. A special thanks to all those involved. This is just the beginning, and I look forward to making this event bigger and bigger each year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. It's very innovative and philanthropic. I like it. All right, we'll move on to our public safety report. Mayor Hopkins.
Yeah. Thank you. Public Safety Committee met on Saturday, October 31st, resumed. Report stands as written. Only thing I'd like to add is there's been a lot of accidents on Church Lane lately, especially around Church and McDade. Most of those, I understand, were DUIs, which is hard to to control or police. And we can't have traffic stops unless we get the approval of PennDOT, because it's a state road, and I understand they're not allowing that during the COVID. But after COVID, we're going to revisit that. And short of that, again, we are looking at traffic patterns, and there are a lot of complaints about speeding on secondary roads. But there's increased traffic all around Yeadon for a variety of reasons. And we are looking at something comprehensive so that if you put speed bumps on one street, they're going to avoid that street, and you may have more traffic, much more traffic on other streets. So anything that has to be, that will be done or can be done, has to be done very strategically and with a lot of foresight. So I don't know if Chief Paparo has anything to add, but that's, before that, next meeting, public safety meeting, will be Saturday, November 28th at 9:30 via Zoom. That ends my report. I don't know if the chief has anything to report.
No, sir. I'll have to check with my agent to see if I'm allowed to give any press beforehand.
Mr. Hollywood.
No, again, I reiterate everything you said, but that'll include my report.
Okay, there ends my report. I don't think anybody else is on the fire chief or the code director. So there ends the public safety committee report.
Alrighty. Let's see. So we will move on to our recreation report.
Good evening, Madam President, Mayor, Council, and everybody. I think the mayor had already mentioned about our success on November the 7th. We were able to drop off lunch boxes to all our veterans. So again, I'd like to thank the mayor and Borough Council for helping us to do this. The mayor also surprised us by personally delivering a bag of goodies yesterday, so it shocked us. We've been getting a lot of thank yous from our veterans and calls. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Darby Girl Scout Troop 5565. They also sent a thank you to all the veterans. We're currently updating our veterans list. We've got a lot of veterans to call who want to be on our database, so we're doing that. And the last thing we did, our recreation committee made contact with them through email. We're talking and just bouncing some things around. Hopefully we might be able to do something next year, but we're planning just in case this virus subsides or it'll be under control. And Madam President, I believe that is all. This is verbal. I'll submit something written to you next week. So ends my report.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis. And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Is there, without anything further, sorry, I'm just going through some notes. All right, so without anything further, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned. See everyone on
Aye.
Tuesday
Thank you.
and next week.
Take care.
See you
Good
next
night,
week.
everyone.